purpose of a performance appraisal, management, or development section is to keep all the information regarding an employee's performance, whether positive or negative. So you want to make sure you gather all of it and safeguard it in this employee file that you're going to put together. By building a history of positive or negative performance, you have the necessary backup for promotions or terminations. Again, it's important to have signatures on performance documentation to prove it has been discussed with the employee. That doesn't mean that you're asking them to sign that they have accepted what you said, but you're asking them to sign that they've read what you've said. So let's talk about performance, because what I don't want you to think is this is about collecting data to terminate people. That's not the focus. The focus here is to drive behavior and to get the greatest productivity out of your employees because they want to. So in this section, you'll have performance appraisals that you've done, or I kind of look at performance. There's appraisals, management, and development. Kind of the appraisal system that's kind of older are those 0 to 10 or 1 to 5 or unsatisfactory to satisfactory. Those are kind of old school in my mind, appraisals. I don't think they're the best that are out there. But as long as it works, that's what matters. There's management systems where you really just take a job description and you give me guidance or feedback around exactly what I'm doing there. Or there's the development ones where you're helping me grow and learn by putting objectives in place that I need to achieve. So there are different styles of reviews that you can do, so really think about what makes sense for you. In this section, you might have letters of recognition, performance improvement plan, we're going to talk about in a minute, and disciplinary letters. So a while ago, I wrote this system for smaller organizations, and the idea is that you have your job description, your position profile, and your performance plan all lumped into one. This isn't the only style that I would use. I think objective programs are really effective, but depending on your organization's size and shape, this might make sense for you. So a job description, so what I want to do is break this into 3 sections. So the job description is the high level, at the overall level of the role. So it's like, say you're hiring a finance manager. It covers the scope, complexity, type of work, knowledge, skills, and experience required for the role. It's used for benchmarking and salary ranges, and it changes only if the fundamental job changes. So you've got a section that says job description, and it says I'm hiring a finance manager that has to have this much experience, has to have this much education, and that's it. Then you've got the position profile, and that is specifics to the role that they're doing, to the actual job they're doing. So it could be one of the things that they're doing is they're focusing on cash flow. It reflects their current portfolio of duties. It's brief, but it's focused on roles and outcomes. It's matched with a job description. The key specifics are aligned. It's updated regularly as often as portfolio changes, and clear communication that changes are expected and do not necessarily affect communication. Compensation. Let me reframe it, make it easier. So we've got a job description that says I'm a finance manager. Then we've got a position profile that says in that I do things like cash flow. I do AP, AR, possibly. But if I change the position profile, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to change my income. If I stop doing AP and AR and I do something else, that doesn't necessarily impact my salary. The only way that salary necessarily would be impacted is if there was a major change, but it's really indicative of the role itself, which is the finance manager. So again, you've got finance manager who's doing these duties, and then you clip on your performance plan to that. And it's detailed and specific annual priorities for each. So ideally, you're doing a little bit of development and management. You're putting in some objectives for me. It covers objectives, measurement of success, competencies, and a personal development plan. It's reviewed a minimum of 3 to 5 times a year. You know, I know everybody's busy, but the more you can check in on how an employee is doing, the better. And it's aligned to organizational goals. So that's just one way to look at performance. I think, you know, for one organization, we did one that it was a First Nations organization, and we did it to the 7 sacred teachings. And they then became the values and the foundation of the performance program. It's really quite fabulous. So it's what makes sense for you. For a gaming company, we did a casino game. There's lots of different ways to look at performance. The key, I think, bottom line is, do your employees actually engage in it? Are they excited about being a part of it? Because that means it's working. If they're not, you might want to check the system. Letter of recognition. Please catch people doing great things and put it in writing for them. We're always quick to catch them doing things you don't like so much and we put it in writing. So please catch them doing great things and put it in writing. PIPA. So if an employee you're having challenges with an employee, you've already got their performance plan working, you've got challenges with your employee throughout the year, you've talked to them a few times, you could put them on a performance improvement plan agreement to support them to course correct. And the difference between a PIP and a PIPA is a performance improvement plan agreement says that they're agreeing to something, so that you use a language like agreement. So you're entering into an agreement that they are going to work with you, and collectively you're going to work to build their portfolio so they do a better job. Disciplinary. So if you're going to write a disciplinary letter, please make sure you also close it. So if you're going to put something on my file as an employee and of course corrected it, please make sure you then give me a letter to say that it's closed. Employees, that'll sit open in their minds for a long time. So in summary, performance. Have a system that works for your organization, ideally not a subjective scale system, rather a development process, one that fits your intended culture. Manage day-to-day performance, day-to-day, and if an employee needs a performance improvement agreement, make it meaningful and measurable. Help the employee succeed and then properly close it. Ensure the systems you use drives behavior equals productivity equals organizational performance. Everyone going in the same direction at the same time to achieve organizational goals. I know for certain that employees want to help you be successful, so put in meaningful systems to help them help you do that. This has been an initiative of the City of Penticton's Economic Development Department, and I'm Corey Meadell from the Dodo Performance Group.